Without further ado, what follows is the 1837 knife fight between Representatives John Wilson and J.J. Anthony in the Arkansas State House. Politics were as wild as Arkansas itself in 1837. One of the most infamous incidents in Arkansas history occurred December 4, 1837, in the Arkansas House of Representatives chamber during its first legislative session after Arkansas's admission to the Union on June 15, 1836. The fight occurred between Representative John Wilson of Clark County and Representative J.J. Anthony of Randolph County in the recently completed State House. One of the most contentious subjects facing the legislature at that time was the real estate bank, which had been chartered by the enactment of the first act of that first legislature. Although created by the state, the bank was managed by a group of planters and farmers from eastern and southern Arkansas. Legislators from the northern and eastern counties of the state believed the real estate bank was set up for the benefit of planters. From its inception, the real estate bank was fraught with scandal, with charges aimed at the bank's stockholders, which included many of the state's most prominent citizens, alleging loans to those stockholders were based on inflated land appraisals, severely jeopardizing the state's financial security. When the legislature met in special session in the fall of 1837, foes of the bank were ready to address its apparent favoritism to the planter class and the stockholders' abuse of power. Representative Joseph J. Anthony introduced a House resolution saying the real estate bank was detrimental to equal rights and that a great many Arkansans doubted the bank's stated mission of promoting the state's agricultural interests. The House refused to consider the resolution. John Wilson, a stockholder and president of the real estate bank, took great umbrage at Anthony's resolution and vehemently defended the bank's practices and denied all charges of fraud. The contention between opponents and proponents over the bank came to a head a few days later after Anthony's resolution. Now, the wolf population in Arkansas was so large in 1837 that the Arkansas legislature debated a bill to place bounties on wolf pelts, or scalps, as they were called at the time. The innocuous bill, which had nothing to do with the real estate bank, nevertheless fanned the passions over the institution, leading to a murder in the first session of the first legislature.
Quiet in the House. This session of the House of Representatives of the great state of Arkansas will convene this day, the 4th day of December, 1837. The Senate has passed a bill to encourage the killing of wolves and has instructed me to ask your concurrence therein. My friend, Representative Davies of Chicot County, has submitted the following amendment to the bill as an additional section. And it be further enacted that all scalps so taken and secured shall be good currency throughout this great state and be receivable for all dues to the state. Therewith, Representative Nolan of the great county of Independence has proposed the following proviso, provided the certificate of the magistrate before whom they were proved accompanies them.
Mr. Speaker,
The chair recognizes Representative Anthony of Randolph County.
I move to amend the amendment by striking the word magistrate and inserting the words president of the real estate bank. That way, the president of the real estate bank shall personally sign each pelt.
Sir, are you aware that I am president of the real estate bank?
I am, sir.
Is your remark meant to be personal or simply a lack of tact?
My remarks do not need interpreting. My voice projects fine.
Sir, you are out of order. Be seated.
I will not be seated. I am here representing the people of Randolph County, and I will not surrender the floor to the whims of the Speaker.
You shall yield. or I shall make you.
You are welcome to try. Get back, you poltroon! Ugh! I'm in bed.
He has insulted me before, but it will be his last.
The Arkansas House of Representatives and Senate passed resolutions condemning the incident. The House expelled John Wilson, the representative from Clark County and Speaker of the House of Representatives, for his flagrant violation of the dignity, rules, and regulations of the House, and for forever casting a stigma on the House of Representatives and the state of Arkansas, which would never be forgotten or wiped clean. After his expulsion, Wilson was indicted by a Pulaski County grand jury for the murder of Representative J.J. Anthony. Wilson's friends pressured for a change of venue, and the trial was moved to Saline County, where the jury subsequently acquitted Wilson on grounds of self-defense. His influence and popularity, however, did not diminish, and Wilson was re-elected to the House in 1840. That same year, he was involved in another knife incident. He later defaulted on his real estate bank loans and left Arkansas for Texas. Plagued with scandals, the state finally assumed control over the real estate bank in 1855. Overreacting to the Wilson-Anthony fight and trying to deflect further criticism, the legislature passed a law outlawing banks, a situation which severely impaired the state's progress. That anti-banking provision was not replaced until 1868, when Reconstruction began. The bank receivers, including Albert Pike, never repaid the money owed to the state. The Wilson-Anthony fight was just one of the many unfortunate effects of the banking debacle. Let's give our actors a round of applause. I want to thank Representative Anthony, who is perfectly portrayed by David Prater, and Speaker of the House Wilson, who is also perfectly portrayed by Tim Nutt. Both of these men worked with the University of Arkansas Special Collections, and Tim in particular, with help from Dee Dee Lamb and others, and Tom Dillard and others associated with the Washington County Historical Society, drafted this script. It's historically accurate, and I thought it was wonderfully portrayed. So once again, give our crowd, our actors a round of applause. Thank you.